My friends, it's a good news day. You know, we don't get many of those here on Real Truth, but we're getting more than we used to. And here it is from USA Today on paper. Brett Michael Kavanaugh may be the most qualified Supreme Court nominee in generations. Like Chief Justice John Roberts and Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Clarence Thomas, he has served on the second most powerful court in the nation. Like Justices Anthony Kennedy, Stephen Breyer, Samuel Alito, Sonia Sotomayor, and Neil Gorsuch, he brings more than a decade's experience as a federal appeals court judge. And like Justice Elena Kagan, he's worked at the side of a two-term president. But Kavanaugh's 12 years on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, combined with his Yale pedigree, Supreme Court clerkship under retiring Associate Justice Anthony Kennedy, and top posts under President George W. Bush, give him a resume the court's current justices can't match. It may be in his blood. Even his mother, Martha, became a Maryland state judge a quarter century ago. I've interviewed many candidates for the federal bench, including Roberts and Alito, said Bush's former Attorney General Alberto Gonzales. There's no question in my mind regarding Brett for the Supreme Court. He has a track record that demonstrates his talents and his judicial philosophy. More than anyone else in conservative legal circles today, Kavanaugh, 53, has been viewed as a Supreme Court justice in waiting. While waiting, he's written some 300 opinions and sent 41 of his law clerks to similar posts at the High Court, far more than any of his competitors for the nomination. There is no one in America more qualified for this position, Trump said in introducing Kavanaugh and his family to a packed East Room at the White House filled with Republican conservative supporters. Unquote, and my friends, none of it matters. None of it matters to liberals. Before Kavanaugh was named, they were outside the Supreme Court and elsewhere protesting, screaming, calling whoever got named a racist, a misogynist. The fact that this guy is amazingly and superbly suited to the job means nothing. Liberals have been unhinged ever since Donald Trump won the election. They're getting more and more dangerous. Unhinged is bad enough. They're getting dangerous and they need to be put down. They need to be controlled. Now, Kavanaugh is going to get on the Supreme Court, but it's going to be a fight. And people may, God forbid, get hurt. And that's why I'm telling you, liberals need to be kept away from power. People need to break their addiction to voting Democrat. It's not good for the country. It's not good for you. We're here. We're going to spread some truth today, as we always do. Real truth will continue.
Out of mind. Let's remember the brave men and women in the military who I didn't care about it. May not have
Oh, guys, let's kick it in the guts. By the way, this is Howard Riell, and the show is called Real Truth. All right, I got that out of the way. Antonin Scalia is a name that keeps coming up. He is the late Supreme Court Justice against whom all judges who follow are being compared. But what about Antonin Scalia? I've got him on a video here from several years ago talking about the philosophy of an originalist. What is an originalist, and why is it absolutely essential to the success going forward of the United States of America? Antonin Scalia being interviewed by Charlie Rose.
Would you?
And my friends, that forlorn hope, as Justice Scalia said, has now been realized, thanks to Donald Trump. Once Brett Kavanaugh is okayed, once he's officially accepted, the court will be weighted to the conservative side, which means all good things become possible for the United States of America, rather than the horror that would have been perpetrated if Hillary Clinton had become president and named two left-leaning liberal justices. That would have been the end of America as we've known it. Let's go back to Scalia and Rose.
Look,
All right, guys, that was Anthony Scalia. We're going to hear more from him today. We'll be back with more Real Truth. Don't touch that dial, because if you do, we'll know it. We won't really know it. I'm just kidding. But you knew that.
John witnessed him and cried out, saying, "This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hope these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the American News Network.
Chapel and Collins LLC produce our emergency first responders with a professional commitment free. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us to fill their no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chapel and Collins LLC, with 2 locations in Denver and Boca Raton, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total concrete services, online platforms. The men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving. Their commitment encourages people to be safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Online, proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. For more information, call 970-535-4780.
All right, guys, welcome back. We talked about Brett Kavanaugh. He will be the next Supreme Court Justice. Here is my colleague and dear friend, Rush Limbaugh, weighing in.
Okay, the Supreme Court choice.
All right, my friends, hang on one second. One thing Rush said is absolutely spot on. The noise that the Democrats are making now is fundraising. They're ginning up hatred, anger, because they know that's what causes their supporters to write checks.
Including abortion.
Come on, Rush, you can get it out. Come on, YouTube. My friends, what Rush is saying is spot on, and I'll take it even further because he's referring to something he heard me say on my show a week or two ago. Why does the left hate Donald Trump so much? Well, they don't hate Donald Trump per se. They were just fine with him before he ran for president. They hate Donald Trump because they hate us. The Democrats hate Americans. The Democrats hate America. Donald Trump is the leader of America. He represents the American people. He's fighting for the American people. And so the Democrats, the liberals, take all the hatred and all the bile that they have for the average American and for America in general, and they focus it like a laser beam on Donald Trump. This week, they're splitting that beam in two. They're also aiming at Kavanaugh, but it's not Kavanaugh. It's not even Trump. It's you and me that the Democrats hate. Don't be mistaken about that.
The president wanted chosen.
The reason their argument, excuse me, Mr. Vice President, the reason their argument is with the Constitution is because the Constitution empowers the people. The Constitution gives power and authority and decision-making to us, the American people. The Democrats hate that. They want to have the power. It's all about power. The Constitution represents us. Donald Trump represents us. And that's why liberals, Democrats hate both of them, just like they hate you and me.
What you have in just
All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll hear more from the Vice President of the United States and Rush Limbaugh. Go nowhere.
animal health, taxidermy, and rights. Thank you all for bringing that to our report. Search business owners, consider hiring veterinary counsel and medical team. And to those heroes back home for Bishop the cause, know that your dedication, selflessness, and courage are appreciated. May God bless America. This message is from Animal Health, Taxidermy, and Rights. Proud to salute fighting forces of our country. Now, the testimony of John used in recently by Jerusalem to ask him, who are you? He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, I am not the Messiah. And they asked him, what then? Are you Elijah? He said, I am not. Are you the prophet? And he answered, no. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21.
No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, for the greatest of the United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women
Okay, welcome back to Real Truth. I am, as I was before, and should be later if everything goes according to plan, Howard Riell. I am loving all the truth emanating from this interview Rush Limbaugh is doing with Vice President Mike Pence. Let's continue listening. All right, my friends, now listen to me. Now, sometimes I talk to the Democrats, the liberals out there in Radio Land who are listening to me. I mean, how you found your way to my show, I'm not certain. Maybe you just want to hear some truth for a change. But think of this. Judge Kavanaugh, his wife, his two young daughters, you heard, are going to be savaged. They're going to be attacked, insulted, slandered by Democrats, by your friends, your colleagues. How does that make you feel about being a Democrat? They've gone after not only Trump, but his wife, his daughter, his young son, his 12-year-old son, Barron. Now they're going to go after these people who are wonderful people, fantastic people, but they're in the way of the Democrats' aspirations for power, and so the Democrats are going to go after them like wild dogs. So again, question, how do you feel being a Democrat and knowing that these animals who are going after innocent, good people are your buddies? How does that make you feel, Democrats? And my friends, the Democrats and the media can jump up and down and scream and shout, and they'll scream racist, and they'll scream this, and they'll probably push some people and rip people's hats off and punch them in the mouth and act like animals, predictably. Won't affect the vote. The Republicans, I believe, are going to close ranks and vote 100% for Kavanaugh. And the Democrats, who are in states that Trump won by large margins, well, if they want to get reelected, they'd better toe the line. Kavanaugh's not going to give them anything to vote against, nothing to pick on, and several of them are going to have to go ahead and vote yes, and then we can all take a breath. Because then we know Supreme Court is going to be coming to fewer and fewer crazy, harebrained decisions in the years to come. And by the way, things only get better because Ruth Bader Ginsburg is very, very old. And she'll be gone soon, one way or the other, which will mean a third Supreme Court pick for Donald Trump. And that's when we can really begin to rest easy, knowing that our nation is in very good hands through this generation into the next. I'll tell you, I was giggling yesterday when Judge Kavanaugh was named because it makes me feel so good about the future of this country, despite the crazy animals on the left who are doing their best to sink us. We'll be right back.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen him at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in the person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and fees shall not be violated. No warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the person or thing. If catastrophe struck, would your family be prepared? Are you confident you would react in a panic? Is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Barrett Survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Barrett Survival, located at 5366 South Broadway, is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Barrett Survival.
American Window Tinting Incorporated crisis of mind parents. Keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children and distributors become law. This poses an opportunity for would be effective. Please make every effort to keep track of your loved ones at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franklin. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
All right, guys, welcome back to Real Truth. Dennis Miller was on Kennedy's show on Fox yesterday, and he said something that caught my eye. He said, people in the Rust Belt are getting sick and tired of being called stupid by Democrats. We have to listen to this. Go. Well, whatever the reason that the Democrats don't give a rat's ass about the average American, whatever the reason, the fact is they don't give a rat's ass about the average American. Now, if you're listening to me right now and you are a billionaire, well, good luck to you. If you're not a billionaire or even a millionaire, there's no good reason for you to vote for a party. The Democrats that don't respect you, don't feel they owe you the truth, aren't representing you, but are representing people who came here from another country illegally and want for free what you and I have worked to earn. I don't know why any intelligent person would vote Democrat, and probably the simple answer is that no intelligent person does vote Democrat. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to finish with some news. Unless people have been lying to me all day, I think today's Tuesday, and that's a good thing. Early in the week. Real truth continues on the other side of this message, my friends. Stick around.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debt, pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Article 1, Section 10.
Chaplain Collinsville, these troops are emergency first responders with a professional commitment to the free. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, with 10 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total concrete services, all men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Young South Road, Collins, proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. More information on 970-535-4780.
Item from NBC News Dateline Tel Aviv. Revelers toting rainbow flags flooded Tel Aviv on Friday for an annual lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender parade that Israel played up as evidence of its liberal values amid international censure and its lethal response to Palestinian protests in Gaza. Stop! Number one, Israel is wasting its time trying to show the world, see what nice guys we are? Because the world hates Israel just out of anti-Semitism. That's number one. Number two, while Israel is trying to impress people, it is giving the middle finger to God, who doesn't take kindly to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people in the first place, and certainly not on the holy soil of Israel. Item from PJ Media. We told you it happened. It finally has. Conservatives have predicted that feminism and transgenderism were ultimately incompatible, but for a long time seemed like the LGBT movement might just hold them together. Well, on Saturday, that movement burst open as lesbians led the parade in attacking transgenderism. Trans activism erases lesbians read a banner that temporarily led the Pride in London march in the heart of Britain's capital. The banner naturally caused quite a stir, with London Mayor Sadiq Khan denouncing it in a statement. Quote, Pride is about celebrating difference and London's amazing LGBT plus community, Khan's spokesperson told Pink News. It's about showing those around the world in our great city you can be free to be whoever you want and be and love whoever you want to love. The vast majority of those present in today's march respected and embraced that, and the mayor condemns the tiny minority who did not. Unquote. Sadiq Khan says you should be able to do what you want and love what you want, And if loving cutting off someone's head is your thing, then the Muslim mayor of London is probably all for it. Item. From the Washington Examiner, legal and illegal immigrants are crowding out American teens looking for summer jobs, and the impact of higher teen unemployment could be a drag on them for years, according to a new analysis of the seasonal workforce. The Center for Immigration Studies found that as the number of U.S. teens with summer jobs has dropped significantly, employment of immigrants has doubled. Unquote. So for those out there who are too stupid to understand why illegal immigration is bad for America, here's just one of many reasons. American kids who want jobs can't get them. Item from the Daily Mail. A man wearing a skin-tight dress and high-heeled shoes was told off and violently pushed by police officers on a crowded street in China last week. He and two male friends who were wearing heavy makeup and women's clothes were ordered to leave a popular shopping area in Suzhou, Jiangsu province, when many pedestrians watched on. Police claimed their clothing, quote, caused disturbance in public and had a bad influence on other people. Unquote. My friends, China doesn't play PC games. It takes care of its own. Item. From the Daily Mail, an Iranian woman who protested the obligatory Islamic headscarf by removing it in public says she's been sentenced to 20 years in prison. Stop. In Iran, they're ruled by Muslim law. Muslims feel that 20 years in prison is a just judgment against the woman for removing her headscarf. And so now stop and think. What about the Muslims who live on your block, or in your city, or in this country? How tolerant do you think they are, and what do you think they might do when they see a woman without a headscarf? We'll be back tomorrow with more Real Truth. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay angry. Hasta luego.